Not all OnlyFans success looks the same. Some creators build steady, consistent income, $20,000 to $30,000 a month, every month. Others explode past $100,000 with the right content and positioning. So today I'm going to compare two real accounts that are part of our agency. One is at around $20,000 per month and one currently at around $100,000 per month. And I will show you the key differences in audience, what actually drives this, and what are the breakdowns in earnings, and kind of explain the quality versus quantity difference in audience. So we're going to start with the 20K account, which right now around these last 30 days is around 26,000. And then we're going to check out this $100,000 account, which is around 108,000. So what I want to show today is that there's different paths to success, right? Some of it is explosive, some of it is sustaining, some of it is a bit more on quantity, some of it is a bit more on quality. So let's check out this creator who in the last 30 days made 26,000 with a very, very nice spike actually just yesterday right here. So that's some serious sequence sales right there. Now, generally, if we look at around the last 180 days or so, so it's a very consistent timeline over here of around 20,000. And if we look at the statements in the earnings statistics, we also see that the all-time for gross is already over 1 million. And we have for many, many months, generally between 20 and 30,000. So 24, 25, 31 a little bit, so we might go a little bit more viral somewhere, 20, 21, 24, 19, 23, right? So keeping between 20 and 30, and right now we're in September, so September is still going actively up. And this creator, and like everyone thinks about grabbing the crazy headlines, but this creator will have over time on this account generated $1 million on this. And then on the other account that we're looking at, it's going to be generally much more explosive growth. So this is a creator that was around 30,000. And then when she joined, we took her to 70 and 112,000 now last month in August. But let's look at what it looks like in terms of reach and what kind of traffic do we have coming in. So for example, this creator with the explosive reach, she is gaining traffic mostly from Finland. That's the biggest one, right? Because she is a Finnish creator, but over time, we're increasing also massively the numbers of US, UK, Canada, Australia over here, right? So these are the countries which have the biggest spend. We specifically really like focus on US and Canada traffic coming in. And there are a lot of subscribers, right? So we see 4,300 new subscribers, and new subscribers are coming in very, very actively over here. So hundreds per day sometimes. Right here we have even above 200 here, close to 300 even. And on many days 150 and such, right? So really here we have a lot of quantity to work with and a lot we can make out of this. While if we open up the other account, then we have, let's take again the last 30 days. Let's go to reach. This is a German creator, so this is a creator in Germany. But what has happened is over time, as we built her account, there's actually not that much German reach on here, and we've gone it very strongly to the audience that we really want. USA, Australia, Canada, UK, right? So this is thoughtful effort over time and really thinking about how we can make sure we're only doing things in English as much as possible and really moving this audience so that Germans don't really interact nearly as much as Americans do, right? And so it doesn't necessarily always matter where you are, right? Where you start is oftentimes going to determine your starting audience, so to say, right? So if you are in Poland, you might have a lot of Polish subscribers initially. If you are in Spain, you might have a lot of Spanish. But as you gain more views, you will naturally expand to the bigger markets if you're doing it in English, which is for social media, UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. And then when you go super viral, we will examine this on some other creators, you actually get even more from other countries. So for example, you might get a lot of Argentina and Brazil because those are very large social media markets. Even if they won't provide the biggest spend, they will still provide subscription revenue. And so this is interesting here, right? So even with thoughtful approaches over time, these are both European creators. One of them still has a lot of local Finnish. The other one basically has a United States audience. And in terms of fans, it's much smaller, right? So new subs are only about 235 in the last month. So the ratios are very different, right? So you can really see difference in quality versus quantity over here. And let's also check out what that looks like in terms of subscriber overviews additionally. Let's have a look at the fan reports. So this is the 20K creator. And overall total fans are quite steady around 350 only, right? Roughly active. And so on some days, there's only about 8 subs. On some days, there's 15 subs. But what you're going to see is the difference in quality over here. Where we get our traffic generally in most cases is mostly going to be Instagram. There's always going to be some TikTok also involved. And there's just some traffic that will come in from different places where people also repost content, things like that. But generally, Instagram is going to be our biggest traffic source. So here we're looking at the biggest spenders, biggest subscribers on this account over the last 30 days. And what we will see, actually, interestingly, if we move over to the last 360 days, we will see some massive, massive subscribers that spent money on this account. So 40,000, 27,000, 12,000, 6,000, 5,000. So these are incredible numbers. And realize this, remember, this is a creator that only has about 350 active subscribers, but we're generating about 25,000 in revenue monthly. And that's where the ratio really comes in differently. Some creators will have quality of subscribers, some creators will have quantity. And it depends on the countries, right? One creator has a lot more European countries. One creator has those English-speaking tier 1 countries, which gets you even spend like this, right? So there's no even right or wrong answer. There's going to be plenty of accounts that are making hundreds of thousands that never get a spender this big, right? And this is someone who has bought content consistently week after week already for more than a year. And that works for this account, but it might not always correlate because you need a lot of value. You need to keep up your value on the social media side a lot. So a lot of people think I'm just going to make sexy thirst traps and that's going to work. No, there's thoughtfulness behind the content that's actually put out. And it is, while it looks good, it's sexy, it's aesthetic, it really keeps up a lot of value for the creator. And you get massive, massive spend like this from for some of these creators. Then let's look over to the other creator. So this is the creator that has 100,000 in revenue. And let's just put it to show by day over the last 30 days. So we have about 5,000 active subscribers right here. We're at this moment. And let's just put it to last 365 days. We don't even have all this data because this creator hasn't been in our database all this time, right? So Inflow doesn't read this data. It only reads it from June. But as you can see, we quickly grew to a lot more fans. So roughly speaking, 15 times more fans, but that doesn't always equate 15 times more revenue, actually. So let's look at the subscriber breakdown per spend. So let's have a look at where this traffic is coming from. In this case, on this account, we're still building up the data. So the data on the other account was much clearer as it's been in our control for a very long time. But here it hasn't been as long. So we're building up the Instagram, essentially categorization here. And you can see some from TikTok, a little bit of YouTube because this creator does have a YouTube channel. But these, again, Instagram is what we really crush at. That's what we focus on. And a lot of this is still unknown because a lot of these older subscribers weren't yet categorized and there's just a lot more traffic coming in. So now everything will be like as written down as on the other account because it's always a mix of this quality versus quantity, right? And then let's have a look at what the top spenders look like here. So here, what we see, the picture is very different. So again, this is for the last year. So not even the last year because this account hasn't been active for a year even. Very different, right? So on the right-hand side, we saw that the biggest subscription links were there for, 6 months, a year, 2 years even. But here it's a lot shorter. And so some of the biggest spenders are always only just recent, right? Some 15 days ago. But the spend also isn't as large. Now, the constraint here is also the creators really focused on the social media content, so we don't have yet as much content delivered for OnlyFans, so probably we could even sell more to some of these big spenders. We actually just run out of the structured content that we need. So that's getting produced week by week, basically, to bring in and keep people longer. But also, it is not necessarily that this account is gonna have a 60,000 big spender, maybe over time, right? But again, there's just a lot more quantity to work here, and we can add more inboxes, we can add more people to work on this. But that's not necessarily always going to be the answer because the creator crushes so much on social media That's where we're gonna put also even more focus and maybe just bring in more traffic, and we're gonna bring it up that way. So again, it's this mix of quality versus quantity. So there's not always a right answer, right? Different accounts will perform, something will be stronger this for this creator, this will be stronger for the other creator. But in the end, there's different ways to grow, right? And this is explosive. And this account will probably stabilize somewhere, as anything does over time at some specific revenue. We'll find out when that is. But there's just different paths to here. So this is the breakdown of what it looks like to have a 100K account and a 20K account on Instagram. I hope this was interesting to understand the point that winning looks different for different people. And winning is not always a straight line. Winning can be explosive, but then maybe go down. Or winning for some creators, winning can be consistent for other creators. Everyone has a sort of plateau. That's, in the end, the market represents what value you provide, right? So depending on what content you do, how active you are on social media, what you are willing to speak about, personality show, you're going to get rewarded at different rates by the market, which is your audience, right? On social media, you don't really decide who's your audience. You decide your interests, who you are, but the audience finds you. The algorithm finds your audience, and the audience decides how much they're willing to spend. And obviously, sticking to things will lead you to winning over time. So these subscribers have been built on this account and just keep spending over time just because we stick to it. That's it. Like consistency, just sticking to it. While the other account, we still need to grow that. We still need to grow the stickiness per subscriber over time because it hasn't been that long. So there's different ways to win in this game in OnlyFans, and success is going to look different for different creators depending on how much they want to work with. But we have a system. We can put you in that system and we can work with it, and we can also bring success for you. You've just seen the difference between a stable $20,000 a month account and an explosive $100,000 per month account. And both of these are wins. But the real unlock comes when the content also has character, personality, and importantly, systems and a team behind it. And that's what characterizes both of these. That's what keeps up the success over time. And that's what we build for our creators. We don't just run these pages. We scale them into businesses that can break ceilings and attract serious spenders and create lasting revenue for our creators. And we promise this also for our creators, that if we don't get you 500 new monthly paying subscribers in the first 5 months, we will pay you $5,000. And there's no hidden fees. There's nothing like that. We are so certain we can do this because we have a great team and a repeatable system that we can do it again and again and again. Now, what is important is we're looking for creators who truly love making Instagram content, who are already making something, right? Let's say you have tens of thousands of views on some of your Instagram reels, but you know you could be doing more. You need maybe help editing, right? Maybe you need help posting. Maybe you know the content on OnlyFans is not being sold nearly as much as it could. That's where we come in. That's where our team and that's where our systems come in. So if you do want to scale to accounts that look like these, whatever winning looks like to you, we will figure out together. Then I want you to reach out to me on Instagram. I want you to write me the word growth to my Instagram page. You can also check out other short vlogs and shootings that I do and different content that we create. And if you are the type of creator who wants to achieve results like these, reach out and I'll be more than happy to talk. And let me know what other things you want me to show about our work so I can make more videos in the future about it.